and welcome to Module 4, Preparing a Winning Proposal. As always, I'm Alex, your AI host, and let's get started. The key components of a proposal start with a cover letter and executive summary. These summarize your company's interest and qualifications. Within the executive summary itself, you will provide an overview of your proposal's highlights and explain why your solution provides the best value. Next, your technical proposal. This section describes your approach to fulfilling the contract requirements. It must align with the statement of work. The management plan is next and includes project timelines, team structure, and risk management, and demonstrates your capability and organization. This section typically includes your key personnel, which may coincide with the personnel requirements outlined in the statement of work. Your key personnel are highlighted in the management plan, and their resumes should be included. Internally, you will want letters of commitment from these individuals if they are not already employed by you or your firm. The past performance section highlights relevant past projects with measurable success metrics. It will include in-depth summaries of these prior or sometimes current projects, who was the customer, how large the project was in terms of personnel and budget, and what the timeline or period of performance. You will typically need references from this client in the form of a questionnaire provided by the government, or the references will need to be submitted electronically by the person writing the reference. Your cost proposal or pricing provides transparent and detailed pricing information and includes breakdown costs for labor, materials, overhead, and any other categories you find pertinent or the government has specifically asked for. Here are some tips for writing an effective proposal. Follow the instructions. Strictly adhere to formatting and submission requirements. Use clear and concise language. Avoid jargon and focus on measurable outcomes. Demonstrate understanding. Reflect comprehension of the agency's goals and challenges. Emphasize differentiators. Highlight what sets your solution apart. For example, do you have an innovative solution or a cost-effective method of delivery? Proposal evaluation. What does the government look at when reviewing proposals, and what do you need to double-check prior to submission? Many of the items we've already covered, so this may seem repetitive, but you must remember a non-compliant proposal is essentially guaranteed to be rejected and removed from consideration. All those months of hard work and preparation wasted over one minor omission like a missing signature is quite demoralizing. Do not let this happen to you. As I have mentioned in an earlier module, price is not the only factor, and many times it's not the most important factor. Value is what the government is typically going for. The good news is that you do not have to squeeze your pricing down to take a loss, but you also have to have a solid proposal. Here's what the government considers and asks, and what you need to ask yourself or your proposal team. Technical capabilities. How well does your solution meet the requirements? Is it feasible? Pull every requirement out of the solicitation and verify you have addressed each and every one. Past performance. Does your track record indicate reliability and expertise? Does your past performance qualify? Pay particular attention to this in the RFP. Some solicitations require and will only consider past performance or experience within the federal government or within that specific agency or component. Others may indicate a preference for private sector experience. When coordinating the submission of your past performance references, be mindful of due dates and make sure your references are aware and are willing and able to comply with any deadlines. Cost and pricing. Is your pricing competitive and realistic? You should know the market rates for your product or services. Do not sell yourself short, and you may need to allocate for management contingencies, but do not be greedy or think the government will pay whatever you want. Even if you are the only bidder, pricing and all the other factors are reviewed. Management approach. Can you efficiently manage resources and risks? Does your company have the ability and plan in place to effectively manage the project? Are your key personnel appropriately experienced and qualified? Just like in the past performance, be sure to read the requirements carefully. Program or project managers and other key personnel may need specific experience with the solution, the government, or the agency, and they may require specific certifications. Compliance. Does your proposal adhere to all RFP instructions and regulations? Supporting documents, method of submission, everything must be done according to the government directions. The evaluators will typically score each submission based on the above categories. They may be scored numerically or simply as high, medium, or low in terms of confidence or ability. Proposals that fail compliance checks may be disqualified regardless of technical or cost merits. It is a best practice to have an internal team review your proposal prior to submission and address all of these categories. Try to have staff that have not participated in the preparation of the proposal so they have a more objective view towards the submission. Use a checklist for proposal submission. It can be tedious and seem overly simple, but it can save you from grave errors and ensures you and your team are checking all the boxes. Before submission, review the RFP instructions. Confirm all sections of your proposal are complete. Double-check formatting requirements such as page limits, font size, etc. Proofread for errors and clarity. Does it make sense and does it flow? Many times proposals are a mix from previous proposals, so there can be a lot of copy and pasting done. Make sure you actually read what you and your team have put together. Confirm compliance with regulatory and legal requirements. Company and staff certifications, acknowledgement of amendments or clauses specific to the effort. And always verify the correct delivery platform, which is usually an online portal or via email, and confirm submission by the deadline. Retain a copy of the submitted proposal for your records. Now you're ready. Proposal writing is a critical skill set for success in federal contracting, and now you know the fundamentals. As you prepare and submit more proposals, the process will become easier and easier. This micro-learning course is written and produced by Michael Bouchard. Michael is a former U.S. naval officer and has nearly 20 years of experience in sales and management consulting, specializing in reorganizations, turnarounds, and realignments. Over the course of his career, Michael has worked with more than 8 different federal agencies and dozens of private sector clients across the United States, Europe, the Middle East, and Central Asia. If you have any questions about federal contracting, feel free to contact him at michael@dakotaglobal.com or connect with him on LinkedIn. Thank you, and we'll see you in our next module, Module 5.